Hello, good morning. Kay Steinsapier here for coffee and commiseration, and boy, do I need it today, friends. I missed yesterday, and I was sad about it all day because this is now my favorite part of the day. I have just been all over the place, scattered around, trying to deal with this fire disaster. In the Palisades, and kids, shuttling around to school. I'm now spending like 3 hours a day driving on these streets of Los Angeles, which is, as you know, not my thing. Um, but I wanted to say hello to you and check in with you, and that I hope you're doing okay in these really, really crazy times. I, for one, am incredibly alarmed by what the Trump administration has done in a month and what it's continuing to do kind of at lightning speed to destroy our system of government. So, probably most people who are listening to this may know this, but just in case some of my friends tune in and kind of don't realize this or haven't thought about this since like high school government class, which I know in my high school government class literally did nothing. Like our teacher was completely useless. He taught nothing. I did my own studying in the back of the classroom for an AP exam that wasn't offered at our school and was appalled by what what was happening in that classroom. My peers were definitely not learning about government. So Donald Trump is issuing executive orders. Executive orders are not laws. Laws are supposed to be passed by Congress, by the legislature. That's their job, to legislate, to write and to pass laws. Donald Trump, by issuing executive orders, is circumventing the Constitution in a very dangerous way. And he has also issued an executive order stating that only his attorney general can interpret these executive orders. So he is also robbing power from the judicial branch. We have three branches of government that are co-equal. What we are seeing now is the implementation of Project 2025, which many of us warned about, and we're told, oh, it's not going to happen. Yeah, it's happening. It is happening right before our very eyes. And a major part of it is taking a hatchet to the federal government, as we are seeing with Elon Musk, who's in there with these young guys, literally just deleting and destroying information, data. They have access to all of our most confidential private data, and they're eliminating jobs, and they willy-nilly, they don't even know what they're doing. They're eliminating people who are responsible for the nuclear codes, and then they have to walk that back and try to get those people back. It's absolute lunacy. And I think that they have succeeded in flooding the zone so much with so much information. And, we're all on social media and it's overwhelming. And the amount of stuff coming at us makes it hard to really zero in on the important things that are happening and why we should be alarmed and why we should be trying to do something before we slide into full dictatorship, because that's the direction we are moving in, my friends. I don't know what the answer is. I feel, like many of you, that I did everything in my power to try to prevent this outcome in campaigning for Kamala Harris. And it didn't work. And so now here we are. And so I feel like probably a lot of you like, well, what do I do now? And I don't know what the answer is, but I know for sure that I'm not going to just sit by silently on the sidelines and not talk about this and not scream from the rooftops that this is happening. And you should all be alarmed. You should all be freaking out. And I think, as I said in a prior conversation with you all, that many of us just don't realize what the federal government does for us, what our system of checks and balances that is so unique and so precious in this country that the world tries to emulate and no other country has successfully emulated it. What that means for our daily lives is dramatic. It means everything. It means our safety, our security, our privacy, our economic prosperity, everything. This flies in the face of everything America is about, right? I mean, our founding fathers came here to break away from tyranny and find liberty and individual freedom. And we aren't about having a king, but Donald Trump acts like he's a king, and he's surrounded by sycophants who are enabling him and encouraging him, and no one's putting any stop to it. So it's just moving right along. And at the same time, he is abandoning our allies around the world. He is cozying up to very, very publicly to Vladimir Putin and saying things like Ukraine started the war. No, Ukraine did not start the war. Ukraine was invaded. And it is incredibly dangerous for the president of the United States to publicly state things that are demonstrably false, because then no one believes us. Why should they? I mean, most things that come out of our president's mouth are not true. And that's going to put us in grave danger. People thought this was funny. They thought it was a joke. They, wanted the price of eggs to go down. Newsflash, they're more expensive now. Like, I was just in the market. I've never seen them so high. So it didn't work. And I think it's only going to get worse, and more people are going to feel the pain. An 11-year-old girl committed suicide because she was afraid of being deported by ICE, because that's what her classmates were telling her. This is not the America that I want to live in. I don't think this is the America that most people want to live in. Again, I think that we as Democrats have to do a better job of speaking to the kitchen table issues that a lot of people face, and drop the identity politics, and really try to have some soul searching and come forward with a message and a messenger that resonates with the public. But in the meantime, while we're getting our shit together, my friends, we the public, we have to be the messengers. We have to speak out, because I don't know what's going to happen within the next 4 years. I mean, based on what's happened in 1 month, it boggles the mind to think of what is going to happen moving forward. So, sorry to be a downer today, but I'm incredibly, incredibly worried about what we're seeing coming out of the White House. And I know, some of my Jewish friends, Israeli friends, support Trump because they feel that he is more supportive of Israel. And I get that. I do. And I had concerns about the Harris administration's statements about Israel as well. However, I still voted for her, and I still campaigned for her, because I was so worried that this outcome that is now coming to fruition would happen. And people said we were alarmists. They said it wasn't real. It was always real. Similar to, Hamas, to the extremists who want to kill Jews. They always said what they planned to do and what they wanted to do. We just didn't listen to them. So, Hamas and related groups have said their goal and mission in life is to kill as many Jews as possible, and that's it. They've said it very clearly all along. Similarly, Donald Trump and his allies, his cronies, the Project 2025 people, they've all been very, very clear about their intentions. And now they are steamrolling right ahead. And is anyone paying attention? Are you awake? It's time to speak up. It's time to use your voice any way you possibly can, even if it's, you starting a podcast like me. I'm just a regular person. A friend of mine said yesterday, I'm I'm so proud of you for just going for it, because the vast majority of people want to do things and they just never go for it. So I hope, if I can leave you with a positive note today, that I inspire you to just go for whatever it is that you want to do, that interests you, that scares you, that you don't know if you can handle. Just go for it. Go for it. Run for office, do a podcast, write a book. And I know it's tough when you're trying to just get by day to day and it's a slog. But even in small ways, we can do that, right? And we have to, because we see over and over again that um, that life is so uncertain and so fragile, and we cannot assume we have the benefit of time, um, especially given how crazy things are in the world. So my advice is to jump into the deep end, do all the things, do something that you're not sure you can handle, that makes you a little nervous, that is outside of your comfort zone. Just do it. Just don't think about it. Don't try to make it perfect. Just dive in and swim. And by the same token, not to tune out about all the things that are happening with regard to Donald Trump and his administration and what they are doing to our government, and to be loud and scream from the rooftops about what is happening, because it is going to affect all of us in ways that we can't even begin to imagine yet. So that's what I have to say today. I'm off to volunteer at a class party for Eli. I've got Nate home from school. It's conference week for his school, so no school for him. I am taking him with me over to Eli's new school. We're doing a belated Valentine's Day party, so that will be fun. Although I'm just running on fumes. I haven't slept well. It's kind of like what do you call it? When I don't sleep well, then the pain that I have, like in, this nerve damage and joint pain that I have from the cancer treatment that I've needed to take, gets worse. And then it snowballs and builds on itself. So it's like, because the pain gets bad, then I don't sleep again. And then so on and so on and so on. So it just builds on itself. So that's kind of what I'm feeling. I'm feeling tired. I don't feel well, but I don't have the benefit or ability to just chill and rest. And I'm so worried and outraged and alarmed by what is taking place in the executive office, that I just had to take a minute to tell you all. And lots of great guests that I'm talking with about coming on here, a whole variety of different people that I think you're going to enjoy. In the meantime, if there are things you want to talk about, or if you want to come on, message me. But if there are things you want to hear me talk about, I'm more than happy to do it. So send me a message and I will do it. Thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.